Hi everyone, here's a quick guitar tip for your lead playing and more specifically when you're looking at improvising a solo. I'm going to talk about quarter tone bends. Now these differ quite a bit from what we call full tone bends, which you might be very familiar with. These ones here, where what's happening is we're bending the string up to a full tone, or effectively the pitch, which is 2 frets higher from where we're starting the bend. Now what a quarter tone bend is, we're not actually going to be technically hitting a different pitch at all. We're going to be pushing the string up just ever so slightly to the point that we can hear a fluctuation in pitch, but a very subtle one, something like this. Now this is a really cool effect which works specifically very well in our blues and rock and roll styles, which is pretty much where it originates from, which was due to the fact that back then string gauges were a lot thicker and that's about as much as we physically could bend a string. However, I still think it's a technique which sounds awesome even in more modern styles of our kind of rock soloing. So here are a few examples. I'm going to put us in the very nice guitar-y key of A minor pentatonic here. Now, the good thing is if you are familiar with those full tone bends, which I was just demonstrating, can employ your quarter tone bends in exactly the same places. Now, in this A minor pentatonic scale specifically, that's going to be our 8th fret on the high E string. Remember, just looking for that slight little change in pitch. Our 8th fret on the B string. Our 7th fret on the G string. And a really nice one here, the 5th fret on the G string. Because we're using our index finger, you can actually pull this down a little bit rather than bending it upwards. Like that. Now, quick extra little fact of using these quarter tone bends is what sounds really cool, and again, very typical rock and roll style lead playing, bluesy type sound, is when you do use these bends, think of it as a very simple 2-note formula. You're going to do one of these quarter tone bends. You can bend it up fairly slowly, but stop it really quickly at the top of the bend, and then play a longer note just after it, like this. That kind of effect like this, and as you can tell, very rock and roll style straight away. Okay, I've done a short little example solo so that you can see some of these quarter tone bends in context. Let's check it out. And there you have it, using quarter tone bends to make our lead playing that little bit more interesting and varied. If you'd like to have a go at learning the example solo I just demonstrated, or if you'd like to improvise to your heart's content, trying to incorporate some of these quarter tone bends, just click here for the backing track, which will be on loop for a few minutes, and you can play away to your heart's content. If you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. Thanks very much.